Meanwhile, at the Los Angeles International Hospital in Scott's room, Kristen came in, and as she closed the door and turned and head to where brother Scott is, and arrived and seen him lying currently in a temporary coma, and as she got the chair that's nearby and sat it by his bedside, and as she sat down and looked at him, I think I pretty much have a good idea of what you said to me if you were conscious. It'd probably be like, "You stupid cow, what the hell you think you're playing at?" Never had I imagined in my wildest imaginations that it would end up like this. You lying in this bed, fighting for your life. It's really not fair if you ask me. Meanwhile, in Vanessa's office, Nate's sitting at her desk, watching a movie on his iPhone. Just as his brother Justin came in and closed the door and turned, just as Nate noticed, and as Justin came to where Nate is and sat across from him. "Dude, I heard what you did. Nice. I am so sick of the lot of them getting by doing whatever the hell they want when we in turn, I know. I just saw on the news a few hours ago. They're calling it attempted murder, which I don't know why. And speaking of which, one of the nurses told me that he's in a coma, a temporary one. You know what? What's to stop me right now from going to his room and finishing him off?" Meanwhile, in the dining room area, Annie is sitting at one of the tables, and as she tried to eat her yogurt that she purchased, but can't, just as her parents arrive to where she is. "You look as though you're trying to force yourself to eat and all," and as Annie saw them, "Mom, Dad, now's really not the great time to get in of whatever we're going to get into." "Then when is it, love?" Deep down, we both knew it would eventually lead to this. Meanwhile, in Taya's office, Taya's sitting at her desk thinking, just as she has a flashback of her and Pete talking. "Here's the deal. Since I'm in charge of the board, we all put a vote and agreed to grant your best mate's request, due to the fact that her family, along with the Grahams, are the biggest contributors to this place. Had not been for them, we would have been shut down or near to bankrupt. But the point of the matter is, when Brody returns to our care, you will be in charge of him to further notice. I can't just drop my duties as chief of staff here. I know. All you need to worry about is taking care of the patient I just told you moments ago. Your job will be overtaken by somebody else. One more matter. You and I are gonna have a serious chat later." And as the flashback ends, I wonder what that chat is gonna be about. And as Carly came in and slammed the door, which Taya saw, "How could you do this to me?" Meanwhile, at the Applegate apartment and Tamara and CJ's apartment in the living room, Tamara and CJ are talking. "Tamara, you don't have to prove anything to me because I believe you. I believe we can make things work. After all, we are in this new flat, ready to make new memories. But in order for that to happen, you and I need to be completely honest with each other. And like I said before, I know you better than you know yourself. And I know something is not right with the matter. You're right. And it's about time that changed." Meanwhile, at the Los Angeles International Hospital in Scott's room, Scott's lying in a coma while his sister Kristen's by his bedside talking to him. I have never expected you to be here out of all places, because of some vendetta our families are going through. One that my older brother Jeff started in the first place. You're the most considerate dude on the planet who love what you do when you do it. You have stood by my side as my brother many upon many times ago when I need you. I really don't want to lose the people I care about. I've already lost my husband and my daughter. Well, when Michael took her into the runner for the matter, but I really don't blame him after everything I have put him through. The point of the matter is, I don't want Zoe or Pipper to lose their dads. I just feel like this entire thing is way out of control, which is why I have come before you, because I am willing to make a deal, and I'm going to follow through it. So, here goes. If you somehow find your way back to us, I'll end things with Nate for good. Meanwhile, in Vanessa's office, Nate and Justin are talking. Honestly, dude, it should have been Jeff in that bed for the matter, and Tyler. The pair of them don't know when to quit, and I dare for any of them to come at us now. I'm glad you and Kristen are doing well despite everything that's happening. Oh, speaking of which, I've asked her to marry me, and she said yes. Nice one, man. I'm glad everything is working out between you two. And once Kristen and Michael's divorce is final, yeah, I know. And I'm not letting anyone come between us. Mate, I got your back, bro. We may not stand our parents when it comes to their methods, but nobody, and I mean nobody, is going to break apart our families. Meanwhile, in the dining room area, Annie, Mimi, and Frank are talking. I think it's best that you two lot get out of my sight before I say something that I might regret. Honey, I'm sorry. I'm certain your dad and it's Mimi, look, who's noticed, didn't mean what he said, right? And as Frank looked at his daughter, she's right. I'm sorry about that. And as Mimi also faced their daughter, but you agreed to him, right? Your brother felt the need to protect his own. Surely you can understand. No, Dad, I don't understand. My husband's in that bed fighting for his life as we know it. I could lose him. Oh, stop being so dramatic already. Scott's a strong person. But the fact is, Justin wouldn't send a message to Tyler and Jeff that our family's not to be missed about. So, based on what you said, my husband and I was nothing but collateral damage. Wow. I see so clear to what's been happening now. You knew exactly what you signed up the moment you married him. What the hell is that supposed to mean? I think I know quite well. And as Joanna and Chris arrived to where they are, and Annie, Mimi, and Frank saw them. Meanwhile, in Taya's office, Taya and Carly are talking. Carly, I really don't have time for whatever this is. I really don't give a damn, Mom, because we're doing this now. I am going to pretend that you didn't just talk to me, that I just did. Will and I are done because of you. You have ruined my life. Wrong. You did that all on your own, manipulating the situation to your own favor, not to mention destroying people's lives. This isn't some game that you get to play on getting whatever you want. I just called you out on it, and it's really not my fault that Will happened to catch the tail end of our conversation. Now I get it. You're so alone and miserable, so I deserve to be the same like you. It's no wonder why Dad left you. I can see clearly why he did what he did. Not to mention the affair you had with Cameron. It's no wonder why Howard left you by cheating to get the hell out of my office. Now! And his tail got out. You ever come here and disrespect me like that again, I will hereby file a restraining order against you. Meanwhile, at the Applegate apartment and Tamara and CJ's apartment in the living room, Tamara and CJ are talking. I don't exactly follow to what's going on here. Well, let me break it down for you. I don't love you. I never did at all. Whoa. What the hell is going on with the 180 you're pulling right now? I know what I said. Thing is, I lied. This was all just a prank. A wind-up. And you fell for it, hook, line, and sinker. Truth of the matter is, the only man I loved was Daniel. He is the one person you would never be. So why don't you do yourself a solid and get over it? You really are a cold-hearted bitch. And to think that I ever loved you in my life. Meanwhile, at the Applegate apartment and Tamara and CJ's apartment in the living room, Tamara and CJ are talking. I've only kept this charade for the sake of Amanda and Daniel, who put all this together just to reunite us. The fact of the matter is, you humiliated me at the cafe when I bared my heart and soul and put all the cards on the table, and you spat back like it was nothing. Oh, I get it now. We're rehashing old wounds from the past, right? Get it in your brain, dude. You mean nothing to me. Nothing! So basically, this was nothing but some twisted joke to you, and you were just having a laugh at my expense. You know what? That's fine. Because at least I know to who you really are. Now do one. I never wanna ever see you again. We're done, and this time for good. You can't just kick me out of our flat. Wrong! My flat. You lost the right to this place a few seconds ago. And as CJ turned and headed to the door. And as he turned and faced Tamara. Don't bother bringing your stuff. Just get the hell out. And as Tamara went and left the flat, and as she turned and faced CJ, who just closed the door on her, and as Tamara began crying while she thinking, and as she took out her iPhone and began texting the unknown person who sent the threatening text, and as she finished and put her iPhone up. I am so sorry, CJ. And as she turned and faced the hallway, it was the only way to save you. Meanwhile, at the Los Angeles International Hospital in Taya's office, Carly and Taya are talking. Mom, surely you can't file a restraining order against your own daughter. I can. So don't push me. You need to own up to what you've done and your little twisted games. You just don't understand how much I love him. He was my world. He's married to Jennifer. I don't know what kind of fantasy you think you lived in, but this is the real world. You want somebody, you go out and find them. You don't take somebody else's. Well, surely they're back together after I walked out of Aaron's office, probably even celebrating for the matter. And as a man came in, and Carly and Taya saw, your patient arrived. Pete told me that Lindsay is temporarily taking your place. Thank you, Ollie. And as Ollie turned and went and left the office, while Taya got her phone and called someone. Can you have security come to my office? Yes. I want a certain daughter of mine to be escorted off the premises. Thank you. And as Taya hung up, just as Carly stood up, Mom, must you be this dramatic? I am sorry, save it. You are hereby not allowed here unless you're a patient, and you better not intentionally become one. You got to understand from my point of view, Mom, on how angry I was at you. Be that as it may, you had no right disrespecting your father, my ex Howard, or even Cameron for the matter. Maybe next time you're angry at me, you can tear me to shreds without tearing the people I care about. But more importantly, you watch what you say. And as the two security guards arrived, and Taya saw and Carly turned and saw them, and as Carly turned and faced her mom, have a nice day, Carly. And as Carly turned and went and left her office, followed by the two security guards. Meanwhile, in the dining room area, Annie, Mimi, and Frank are surprised by Joanna and Chris' arrival. You two have no right to ask that. I think you two should leave, like now. Excuse me. We're trying to talk to our daughter here without interference from you two lot. Just go, Mom and Dad. I don't need the both of you hovering over me. I need to focus on my husband, who really needs me. Well, you heard her. Do one. Fine. Not because of you two lot, but we have other things we need to tend to. And by the way, where are your granddaughters, Zoe and Pipper? We want to watch. Well, that's too bad. Hannah and Ryan are babysitting them at the moment. Now please do one. And as Mimi and Frank turn and walk away, heading towards Vanessa's office. Let's get back to Annie, Joanna, and Chris, who are talking. Thank you so much for saving me. I surely hope they weren't here to gloat about our son. Not to worry. I would shut them down if that was the case. She's right, honey. It is clear that Annie loves our son more than anything in this world. And by the way, why aren't you with him? The nurse said they had to run some tests on him and said it won't take too long. Meanwhile, in Vanessa's office, Nate and Justin are talking. You know, I was kind of thinking, what after Kristen and I get married that we should move out of the country for good. You should go for it, mate. And as Mimi and Frank came in, hope we weren't interrupting whatever this is. And as Frank closed the door, as always, Mom and Dad, come in. Well done, Justin. You're proving that blood is thick. Don't get too excited, because yes, we know you have no intentions in joining the legacy. That's why we're not gonna push. We just wanna savor this very moment. Us Collins gotta be strong. Well, as noble as this is, I have a fiance to get to who's probably wondering to where I am right now. By all means, don't let us stop you. And as Nate went to the door, but stopped and turned and faced Mimi, Frank, and Justin. Thank you guys for having my back. It's no problem, dude. And as Nate turned and left Vanessa's office, while Mimi, Frank, and Justin continued talking. By the way, does your other brother Thomas knows what's been going on? Yeah, he does. And he made it quite clear that he in any way isn't leaving New Orleans. Meanwhile, in Kristen's room, Kristen's finished getting her stuff. And as she heads to the door, but her iPhone beeps and she got it and saw text messages from Tyler saying that Scott has somehow regained conscious. I guess promise is a promise. And as she put her iPhone up and head to the door and arrived just as Nate came and she saw him. Whoa, they're letting you leave? You know what? That's great news. Nate, we can finally celebrate our engagement and all. Nate, please. I cannot wait to marry you. You have made me the happiest man. Nate! What is it? I think you and I need to talk.